Before I say more about reconciliation, let me define forgiveness for us. Forgiveness simply means you give up the right to get even. It means you choose to not offer any payback or seek revenge. But I think it's helpful to understand what forgiveness is not. We often think that forgiveness is more than it is. So let me tell you 6 things that forgiveness is not, okay? First, forgiveness is not forgetting. We hear that all the time. Most of us can forget the small offenses that happen to us. But the betrayals, the theft, the deep wounds of abuse, they require something much stronger than forgetting. They require forgiveness. So forgiveness is for the things that you can't forget. Second, forgiveness is not excusing. When I forgive you, I'm not diminishing what you did to me. I'm not letting you off the hook, so to speak. And in fact, before I forgive you, I have to first accuse you of wrongdoing. You can only forgive someone who's guilty of something. Third, forgiveness is not about how you feel. Too often people say they can't forgive because they don't feel like forgiving. But forgiveness is a choice you make regardless of how you feel. It's simply a decision to not retaliate because you know it's the right thing to do. Next, forgiveness is not conditional. That means my forgiveness isn't dependent on what my offender does. It's not a reward for good behavior. Forgiveness is free. When I put conditions on my forgiveness, I put the other person in control of my life. Forgiveness frees me from being controlled by my offender. Fifth, forgiveness isn't trusting. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean that I have to trust you. It doesn't mean that we are back in relationship with each other. To restore the relationship requires that trust be rebuilt. So I can forgive you immediately, but trusting you again might take years. And finally, forgiveness is not reconciliation. I can forgive you with no strings attached, but with reconciliation, there are several strings attached. And that's because reconciliation requires 2 people working on the relationship together.